Alright dudes, I posted a picture of my thermostat on the motor, so I'm just going to go through what I did for this build, the XB 5th scale. I guess I'll start with the thermostat and tell you what I use. Now, I haven't tested, I just did a quick shakedown run on this. I haven't tested anything out, so I can't vouch for anything yet, but this is a Will High WLH7022 thermostat from Amazon, like $7. Comes with a probe and like a 4-pin connector, which you just cut off, and I wired it up to just a switch, and connected that also with I got dual fans here. This is just homemade stuff right here, and the fans are our own ARRAOWN. I've used these fans before, so I can say they're good. There's 2 fans in there. They're high speed. I'll turn it on for you can see how loud they are. They move a lot of air, and you can see my thermostat here. Let me turn that off because they are loud. All right, that is wired. It's all connected. Thermostat and the fans connected to a separate 2-cell battery pack. So the probe on the motor is on the other side, obviously away from the fans because I want to get the hottest temperature. I'm going to zoom in. And so there's a piece of Tygon tubing on half of it, or maybe a little bit more. So the probe is metal, and it's metal on the can. And the tubing is just insulation to make sure you get a more accurate temperature. And that, of course, is zip tied to the can. I'll zoom out here. So yeah, all that's in one system, separate battery. EC8 connectors. Here's an EC5. I was trying to grab that for comparison. It's like, that's a little baby. You can see how much bigger that is. This is the Max 5 combo with the 56 113 800 kV motor. I'll talk about that. I did use a 34 tooth hot racing pinion. This is my rock shield there. I just I got a bunch of this scrap metal. So what I had to do is I did have to shave the steering arm. You can see a little bit of it there because I was hitting the can with the 34 tooth pinion. If you use a bigger pinion, you're going to pull the motor this way. I think it does fit with a 39. That's your tallest gearing. I think that's 9. The ratio is 9. This is like a 10, maybe 10.1. It's a beast with a 34, so you're gonna shred stuff. Here is my servo. It is a Hobby Star HS6912HV. I can't vouch for it yet, but it's 75 kg. We'll see what happens. On the EC8 connectors, you can see these wires here. This is for, I haven't hooked it up. I'm going to hook that up into the receiver to get voltage. Spectrum receivers have a voltage port, which you can wire up if you use. I make my own, but you can use their connector. I've got in here Hoovu batteries. These are 120C 7200s. I'm going to use these and some others. They're pretty good. So far, so good. We'll see. One other thing to mention was that pin. I had these braces off, and you can't install the pin once you get the can in there. So one thing I always do, and thank goodness I did it on this build too, is I put the ESC down with some serious Velcro. So I can take it off, especially on this build. because your receiver is underneath. And what I always do is I drill a hole so I can put a tool in there and get to the bind button. So if I need to rebind my receiver, I could do that. But the good thing is, and that's just double-sided tape, I'm gonna stick that down better. I was able to get that pin in, but I did have to, as you can see there, shave off some of the end of it to be able to slide it in there. So go figure, design of that, a little quirky, but that's what I had to do. So it's all good. And I guess that's it. I did 20, yeah, it's got 20 million. I had to add a little bit in there. I'm going to change the front and the rear to 500K diff fluid. I also put a bolt and a spacer underneath that brace. And there's a spacer under there bolted to the chassis. And I think that's it. I'm going to probably change the shock weights with this big cannon there. It does affect your suspension, so I guess that's it. I hope I didn't leave anything out, but there you go.